quarterback to college at Mississippi State, all the way to the NFL, has not missed a game. So, Dave Helman, you get on this show every week after like 1 and 2 and 3 pick games and test my confidence in Dak Prescott. So, am I going to jump off the bandwagon now that he finally...
Oh, no. What just happened? Where's the Peloton turning on? What's going on? What's going on here? Having some technical difficulties. There it goes. It just turned on. I heard it. There it goes. Keep it on 1. So I can do what I'm doing. All these different Pelotons I got here. I don't know which one's which. So wait, hold up. So this one is a little one. So what about this one? Same shit. I already got 2 of them. Beautiful. Sorry. Peloton restarted acting weird, so I'm just taking a look at something real quick. Take a look at my downloads. Open. No, that's not what I wanted. I want to see all the downloads. Flip it again. What's the fucking problem? That hack didn't work. Alright, so let's go back. Do what we're doing. There I am. At least they signed another kicker. That's all I can say. Everybody's worried. Give the guy one more chance. He blows it, bench him, start the kicking.
For those that aren't as familiar with Dave Hellman, he covered the Cowboys for 10 years, was in Dallas when Dak Prescott got drafted, has watched him dating back to college at Mississippi State, all the way to the end of the board, has not missed a game. You tell me, what's your confidence level in Dak? I feel like a crazy person. Like, I get on this show every week after like 1 and 2 and 3 pick games and test my confidence in Dak Prescott. So am I going to jump off the bandwagon now that he finally played like the QB that I think he is? Hell no. I'm very confident in Dak. It's a tough matchup, and this is one of the best rosters in the NFL. But like I said yesterday, this is who I've always known Dak was. This is who he's been for the majority of his career. Yes. The majority of his career, all 7 years of it, he's been this guy way more often than
He's going to say something about how the Bucks are terrible,
in 12 games since he
but the Eagles haven't really beat anybody good all year.
As good as anybody in the
Shut
league
the fuck up.
since he came back from his thumb injury. His only problem with his game, turnovers. If he can limit them, and he did against
Cowboys
Tampa,
beat.
if he can limit them, the sky's the limit. I have all the
Bengals,
confidence in the world in that.
Giants, Eagles.
Dave Hellman, Shady. You
Haven't played the Niners yet. Should be a good
Show
game.
the world your celebration.
That's what I did after the 5th touchdown of the night. Finger gun.
Very, very cool. I'm gonna say mid, like mid level, right? Because listen, he did play well against Tampa. He really did. But you know what's funny? We're on a production meeting, and you guys have so much confidence in him. It's like the guy has
Shady McCoy
played a
don't
really
know
good
football.
game. There's
He's
a
just a
picks,
fucking
right?
Eagles dick
There's a little
rider.
pick 6, and all the confidence is out the roof. I gotta think it's a better team. This guy only played with 12 games, led the league in picks, and he's going against the 49ers.
How many of those were drops?
But guess what?
How many?
He led the league in picks. They led the league in getting picks.
Shut up.
Right? They say fights make fouls make fights. Hello? Say it
Not
again.
taking none away from that. It's a good team.
He led the league in picks. They lead the league in getting
Got a
picks.
rookie
They belong
QB
together.
though.
They belong together. So this is my thing. For me to give him
Playing
that
an actual
confidence,
team. This ain't Geno Smith.
I love what he did last weekend.
Geno Smith.
Against a bad defense, but hey, playoffs. Tom Brady.
We're in there.
The narrative you want to write. I want to think it's a good defense. We'll see.
Philly led the league in picks on Christmas Eve, and Dak dotted them up for like 330. Just absolutely demolished them, and they were all healthy. Like, Jalen Hurts didn't play in that game, but all the other guys did. Bradbury was there, Slay was there.
I don't want to get off script. I don't want to
Talk about the Eagles that
I don't
Dak
want
put
to go script.
300
I mean,
on.
I can go back to this.
They led the league
I
in picks.
go to script all the time. He throws pick 6s all the time. Pick 3 times. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? He goes to his team and other team. I don't want to do that. That's not the same.
He did it against Philly and
I just
still dotted them up for
want to talk
330.
about.
He did do it against Philly.
All right. They're better than Niners.
All right. I just
So
figured
keep
out.
all this energy,
out there.
sarcasm and all that, right? Be sarcastic when you play them Niners. The team that gets more picks than any other team in the NFL.
It's going to be tough.
Versus a quarterback that gives more picks than any other quarterback in the NFL. I can't wait to see it. I hope my mentions and DMs Oh, it's on the match last weekends against the Bucks.
They've been busy this week.
They are real busy, right?
What they're
And-
facing with Hater.
See, the problem is, see,
With no
I'm
merit.
on TV now, but I'm a ball player first, right? It's in me.
You don't know shit about football, clearly.
Right?
You just riding.
I can take that.
You a
I
homer.
had fumbles. I lost games, right? They strip me fumble, pick a strip sack, all that, and miss a block. I've been there. I can take that, right? But it's funny how they wait till it's a great game to come at me. The guy that's throwing puts every week. But it's all good, all good. I take that. I'm on the same energy. Monday night against the Bucks.
Oh, trust me, we will.
Same thing Sunday night against the Lions.
We will.
The game. That is.
You're inviting it.
I try to stay on script with you guys.
What? Two, I'm afraid to spoil this for you, Shady. They are not going to be now, Dave might have to.
I'm contractually obligated.
But everybody else,
The producer calls you duck with duck.
they are never going to keep that same energy. They never have, never will.
Jordan, break it down for me though. What's your confidence level in that going forward?
I'm confident in Dak. I've always felt like Dak was capable of winning a Super Bowl. And when you really look at what you need at the quarterback position in order to win the Super Bowl, if you have enough talent around you, if you have the right coaching, why wouldn't Dak fall into that category? That's why I felt like Dak should have been paid when it was his time to get paid. But if we think Brock Purdy's capable of winning a Super Bowl, which I think most of us, all of us do, it's not because of Brock Purdy, it's because of everything that's around him, right? I mean, we wouldn't even be taking this seriously. He's a 7th-round rookie player. Yeah. So, of course, Dak is capable of it, and I think that he should feel confident going into this game. You just won a playoff game against Tom Brady, where people were legitimately picking against you, even though you were a much better team. I didn't, but Dave did.
You kept the faith.
But it's not about getting the faith. I just think that they're capable. This is a good team. It's not about the roster. I don't think it's about the coaching. It's just the Cowboys. They just find a way to mess things up. They get in their own way. They have all the talent they need. Could it be better in certain places? Sure, but you can go down the list of everybody in the playoffs and you have questions about every single team that is in the playoffs. There's no, even as dominant as the Niners have been, they still have a rookie quarterback. That is an anxiety. We haven't seen him play terribly yet, but all of us feel like that's possible. And I wouldn't even hold it against him because he's a rookie. Right.
We haven't seen his floor yet.
I have confidence in that. We will see.
There's probably his best defense has
going
played.
up against a great team. And in my opinion, I think the Cowboys have already won the Super Bowl.
My confidence level in Dak, very high.
Very high.
And Dak is very high. Clearly they're going up a great opponent, but unless you are a future Hall of Fame, last 10 years, you win the Super Bowl, you got to have 18 touchdowns and 1 interception in the playoffs if you want to get it done. Joe Flacco, 11 touchdowns, no interception. Nick Foles, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. So collectively, 17 touchdowns and 1 interception to win a Super Bowl, unless you're a future Hall of Famer. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and what many assume to be Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, obviously. Matthew Stafford, he's fringe there. So when I think about Dak, he has to be capable of getting hot enough. 11 touchdown, no pick hot. Hot enough. 6 touchdown, 1 pick, Nick Foles hot to win a Super Bowl. Well, like Joyce said, he's on the right track. Shady, I know you play some blackjack. When you play blackjack, there's no better feeling after that first card is an ace. When that first card is an ace, you halfway there. Now, that second card,
Oh, yeah.
what that means is 10. Now, that second card might be a 2, and you might be screwed. But if that second card is a 9, 10, or a face, you're great. Dak Prescott's first card was an ace. 5 touchdown game, 4 passing, 1 rushing. That first card was an ace. Now, I don't know what that second one against the Niners is going to be, but if that first one is an ace, that's better than anything else. So that's why, Dave, I'm confident in that.
And you know what else? And y'all can roll your eyes if you want to. You usually do when I talk about Dak. But in addition to him playing great, the other thing is his teammates made the plays that they hadn't been making. Like if you think about that game on Monday night, Dalton Schultz makes a juggling catch on the sideline. That has turned into a pick at different times this season. He's throwing balls over the field, contested catches by CeeDee Lamb and Noah Brown. Those are getting dropped earlier in the year. It started out so poorly for the Cowboys in similar fashion. Like Dak had a regrettable throw on the first play of the game, 2 catches that CeeDee Lamb could have had that didn't work out. And I was like, here we go again. This is why I didn't pick these guys. And then they started making those plays.
Very quickly, it's easier to make plays when you're not as contested. I remember that Dalton Schultz touchdown. He runs it out and up, easy, not contested touchdown. Everything will be contested against the 49ers.
It's gonna be tough.
What the Seahawks
That was a lot of
got when they
contested.
scored And Dak.
Look at that play that Dak made
Giving me a
to
moment.
Dalton. It was 3 people on him.
I mean, that side may have said it all.
This is going to be, if the Cowboys can win this game, it'll be their most impressive win in modern memory, honestly. Because even let's think about the games that they lost. Like they went toe to toe with a Rodgers team, a good Rodgers Packer team that they lost the next week. They couldn't hold on. Rams, the 2018 Rams, good team. They went to the Super Bowl that year, but they weren't quite ready in the sense that Jared Goff got counted for 3 points in that Super Bowl. Like the Rams ran for 300 yards on the Cowboys in that game. I think this will be even with a rookie quarterback. That's amazing to say. Even with a rookie quarterback, this will be the best team that they've beaten in the playoffs in
This year.
Oh my God.
It really is. I mean, the last 5 games, 4 games, he got pick 6. Right? I know they had a great game, but it's still in his DNA. The games before that. We'll see.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Steve and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS.
Shady, open. Open.
All right, Shannon, you know this game inside and out. Are the Giants just going to target that shoulder for Jalen?
No, but they're going to attack the quarterback. And he has to have an injured shoulder that happen to be on the quarterback that we're going to attack. So, Skip, if I put him on his shoulder, so be it. If I hit him on that shoulder, so be it.
Yeah. It's his fault. He hurt. What we got? Anything good? No, that's myself. What we got? I don't want that. Now I look fat. Couple weeks you'll see me. You'll see me. So what they say in here.
Confident in the guys that I've got, the scoop that we have, and what we're capable of doing. Once again, for those that aren't as familiar with Dave Hellman, he's covered the Cowboys for 10 years. What's your confidence level in Dak going forward?
I feel like a crazy person. Like I get on this show.
Same shit. Let's see what Stephen A was talking today.
Game on a short. Did you know that Sunday against the 49ers, who haven't traveled in 3 weeks? The game is scheduled to kick off at 3:30 p.m. Pacific in Dallas. While their hands full in the Bay against that defense, Coach McCarthy, how are you feeling about the short week?
I think it's going to serve us well. We'll have less sleep and we'll be grumpy, so we'll be fine. TV is king. I mean, what are we going to say? Let's not concern. We got plenty of time to prepare, so we're not stressed about it at all.
You want to take it?
What's so calm? Hey, what the hell's going on?
It's already worked in his eyes.
No, you know what it is?
Really? Really? You
No,
can say that to
no.
me?
You know what it is?
You-
That's what it is.
Feeling good.
Always
Yeah.
hot stuff.
No, that's what it is.
It's just heavyweight. It's heavyweight.
Your energy. You want to be mother. Stupid. No. I got energy. You just taking up all the time. You understand? Well, I'm like, do it. I'm going to do what you're going to do. You're back to New York. I get plenty of time.
My analysis of you was good. You're paying attention though. I'm coming to you. Do the Cowboys have a legit shot to beat San Francisco?
Yeah, they do.
Your face doesn't. I mean,
Let Mad Dog go. Let Mad Dog go.
Why?
You want me to go first? Let Mad Dog go first. Let these guys talk. I'll tell you the truth, man. Because we finna get a bunch of hate.
Okay.
Punch his chance, but I don't think a legit chance.
I'm proud of you.
Punch his chance. That was a tremendous game against Tampa. Prescott played well. No more McCarthy. He's going to coach there next year. So we're going to let that's over with. Sean Payton's got to find another place to go. He's not going to Dallas. So I give them all the credit in the world. They did a heck of a job. That game meant a lot to them. Everybody picked Tampa to win. They lost in the first round last year. They had a lot of juice in that game. They did a hell of a job. I give Dallas credit. I don't care what he says. They were a much better team. And they won that game succinctly. But they're not beating San Francisco. Okay. That Niner team, that is a great team. Now Purdy, all right, young quarterback. Let's see.
I just don't get
They have 2
why they get
extra
picked the
days.
Niners.
Dallas has to go out there. I know Prescott in the post game the other day said, you know, they got us there. Here's we'll be ready.
Niners got a good
Dallas
D.
will be competitive in the game. They had
So
a
don't
good
the
defense.
Cowboys.
They played well the other night.
Niners
And
ain't
their
played a
offense-
good D yet.
There's tremendous work
Well,
for
Purdy
the
has.
plan. No issues. But now,
Purdy
they should
hasn't
keep that
played
in the pool.
shit.
Carolina.
Not hating on him. Actually, like Purdy.
Giants backups,
Good story.
I will add. And he played fine. Like, he played fine. And now you've got a week off, and this is a classic case. This is a classic case of Russ versus momentum. Like, the Giants, clearly the Giants aren't as good as the Eagles. The Eagles beat them twice. They beat them down in early December. I get that. But they've got the confidence of winning a road playoff game. They've got the confidence of Daniel Jones playing the best game of his career. They're rolling. I'm curious to see, because I don't think this is going to be an easy game for the Eagles. I'll be shocked if it's an easy.
a hard game?
Yeah,
It doesn't matter what he thinks, baby, because we're going to be in the link that's going to be turned up. You feel me? It's been a long time. We had the number one seed.
I just
It's been a
feel
long time. Jalen Hurts is back. Now, week 18, listen, he came in, he was rusty. That happens, though.
That
Let me
defense
break
is
this down to you.
suspect.
Let me put it in the perspective of a player. So, first of all, he's a franchise guy, right? You want to protect him. He's hurt, so he's not in the normal routine. So you couldn't do the routine. You come in, get breakfast, right, with the guys, laughing. Then you go to team meetings. Then you go to offensive defensive meetings. But when you're hurt, right, you're not doing that. So the offensive meetings, you're not in there with the guys. You're getting treated. You're treated. When we go to practice, he goes up there for the walkthrough. Okay, what's going on? The game plan. I'm back in there getting treatment. Now he has your whole routine. You came in week 18 and got the rust off, knocked it off, got the win against the backups. I don't care who's out there. We're going to beat him. Anyway, he's better now. He's more healthy. Now he's on the same routine. You see them guns in at practice. You see them guns right there. Now he's back with the routine with the ones, practicing, getting the rust off. We're going to be ready to go. We can't wait. We hear the noise. Oh, this Giants team. They're coached very well. They went to Minnesota and beat a good team. The best home team, record in the NFL. We can't wait. We can't wait. Right now, the whole, first of all, do you know that I had to really call in there to get my tickets because I can't go for my people. It was sold out. The day that it was announced we were playing, it was sold out in 24 hours. Joy, it took a day. You telling me they gonna let them Giants win and beat them? Man, listen. And the link, if it was sold out, how'd you get your tickets? I mean, all the time they rush. I mean, can you?
Hello. Joy, any concerns about Hurts versus the Giants?
No, I'm not concerned. And what he said was true. He knows. I don't really like the word bounty, but that's literally what the defensive line gets paid to do.
Can't wait to do it.
It's trying. He's aware of what's going on. He's aware of what he's going into. And Jalen is a confident guy. I'm not worried about his health. What I wanted to see and needed to see in that game, I saw. He can throw the ball. We all know he's going to be able to run. And to Shady's point, he's going to be back into his routine. The playbook is going to be back to what it needs to be. And this is going to be a good game. I'm with Dave in that I think that the Giants do deserve some respect.
They earned it.
But I think we all agree they feel like they're overachieving.
To this point, yeah, I would agree.
Nobody feels that way about Philadelphia.
No.
This is expected. Now maybe that's
I feel that way about the Eagles.
But
They ain't beat nobody.
If I gotta put my confidence
Struggle
in
against the
someone,
worst
it's
in the
Jalen
league.
Hurts, who's been
They
playing at
trash,
the
in my
highest
opinion.
level for the most amount of time this season, even with the past few weeks with the injury.
That ain't hate,
He's
'cause
been the most consistent.
I'm an East fan.
Up until the injury, all season long.
I think the Giants are better.
So that's why he's on. That's why he's on.
He is an all-pro.
So that's
And that ain't easy to get.
yeah.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned. Kind of like what Dave is, but here's why, 2-5. Let me break it down for you.
Please
Let me
break it down.
expectations. We dictate how quarterbacks play based off a narrative.
Okay.
Right? If the quarterback wins the game, like Brock Purdy did with the San Francisco 49ers, he played amazing.
Okay.
But you saw the game.
Yeah,
I saw
he
the
did.
game. We all saw the game. We're like, yeah, Brock Purdy didn't really play amazing. Statistically, he did, but he didn't really play amazing. The Eagles won the Bears game, where Jalen Hurts had no passing touchdowns and 2 picks, 3 rushing touchdowns, 3 TDs, 2 turnovers. The Eagles won the Giants game, where Jalen Hurts had no touchdowns, 1 interception.
Okay.
So we're like, you know what? Jalen Hurts was playing okay because the Eagles were winning those games. Let the Eagles have lost to the Bears. Let them have lost to the Giants. All of a sudden, the exact same performance, we would have called it something different because of the outcome. So if I'm not going to get distracted by the outcome and I'm going to look exclusively at Jalen Hurts, I'm saying to myself, last 2 performances,
3 interceptions, 3 touchdowns. All 3 touchdowns were rushing. Okay, I know the Giants are going to do this much. They're going to make you play with your left hand. So Jalen Hurts, if you think you're going to go out there and rush for these touchdowns, you're not. You better get back to dots like you were doing against the Steelers, like you were doing against the Titans, like you've done during the course of the season. So I'm concerned because I'm looking not at how you've played, I'm looking at how are you playing right now. That's why with Dak Prescott, I'm like, yo, Dak Prescott, he all right. You coming off a 5 touchdown game? Yeah, I'll bet on that.
But, because I was going to bring up Dak, that was one game against an opponent that we all feel is inferior. We're going to ignore all the other games before that?
Well, that was all the games
What I'm saying is,
Hurts played against inferior teams.
We're doing the law of averages here.
correct. But when it comes to the playoffs,
All those
for me,
teams Hurts
I
played
don't
were inferior.
necessarily do laws of averages because when it comes to the playoffs, you do see
Man, I would love to be on this show.
performances as
Shut
of
all
late
these
be
people up.
magnified.
Okay.
Josh Allen. He had a few turnovers. Law of averages says Josh Allen's not going to turn the ball over. From that playoff game, them turnovers, magnified. When I'm looking at Jalen Hurts, I'm saying to myself, okay, how have you been playing as of late? It might be the injury. I'm not mad.
Cowboys played how you're supposed to play inferior
It might be
team.
the injury.
Eagles
But when I think
do not
about
play how they're
3
supposed to play
picks,
inferior team.
no touchdowns through the air, 3 rushing touchdowns, I'm like, how confident am I that he's going to come out there and have a 4 touchdown, no interception game like he had back in November?
That's why I'm more confident. If you can go out there and play that bad and still get a win,
No, that's your defense.
we all talk about these type of games. There's type of games where
That's your defense,
you
and
play
they've been
great
suspect the last few
football
games.
and you lose and you should have won that game. Or you play terrible football, you find a way to win. So that's all like the confidence going forward.
No,
Think about that though.
you're wrong.
He played bad, and we still have a chance to win. So imagine when he plays his regular game, right? Because if we talk about averages, his average ain't 3 picks and all that. I don't know. Matter of fact, he has the best turnover ratio at any quarterback in the NFL. That's why he's all pro.
Look at all the
my thing
defenses
is,
they played.
knowing
That explains it. It's
I'm
not
confident with
because-
that.
that's
Because
not why
at
he's
your
all pro.
worst,
It's
at
just
your
the defense
worst,
he's played.
You still get it done.
Come on.
Let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this.
Ask me.
What we saw on Monday night, to your demise to some degree, Dak Prescott. Picks. All season
That's
long.
one game pick six. Yes, that's true. That's accurate.
Accurate. But in the playoffs, no picks. 5 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts all season long. No picks. Last 2 games, picks. In the playoffs, if we saw Dak go from picks to no picks, don't you think that there could be a concern to see Jalen Hurts go from no picks to picks?
So Jalen's being penalized for having the number 1 seed and having the bye in this situation?
No one said
We're
that.
not counting Dak's games
No one
where he
said that.
wasn't in the playoffs against Dak.
He's
But Dak had to
seen
play in
looking
the first
great.
round and played good, so he's...
Look, this is a classic case, and I'm not trying to penalize anybody. I've seen it both ways. This is a classic case.
So with the Cowboys.
The Cowboys did this. Dak played great against the Packers in that game.
What does it see?
Yeah, I mean, he threw a pick, but he threw 3 touchdowns. He won them back from a deficit. He's a rookie. It's fine. It was 1 of 5 on the year. I don't care.
No, 'cause it's like every time it goes to pick, like you want to like be quiet about it. Hey, 4 touchdowns, 30 yards, 1 pick.
Like, no, Dak, I mean, we're going back to a 7-year-old when the Cowboys scored 31 points. They lost to Rodgers and an MVP. I think he won MVP that year, 2014. Regardless, my point is that we see this every year. You win in October and November, and that's great, and it can set you up. And then you get a week off. Some teams handle it better than others. The Cowboys have historically handled it really poorly for one reason or another. That's why Cowboy fans are afraid of the bye. They lost in 07 when they're best team in the NFC. They lost in 2016 for the same thing. But we've seen other teams get the bye and use it to get themselves right, and they roll right through the
I
playoffs.
guess my thought process is not so much penalizing Jalen Hurts because he played so great, but teams oftentimes that bye penalized.
It does.
Wasn't it the Packers last year who had a first round bye?
Yeah.
In the
They
NFC.
did.
They saw the Niners in round 1. Niners went to Green Bay and gave them that work. Now, here's the information we're omitting. The Giants are not the Niners. Right? This Giants team is not that. But you know as well as I do, Joy, you know as well as I do, Brian Daboll, he just keep you up.
Yeah, he's a hell of a coach.
He just keep you up.
Even that game, Joey, like the Cowboys versus the Niners, like we all felt that. I'm sorry, the Niners versus the Packers
Last year.
I felt like the Niners could beat them. Same way I felt when the Niners came in Dallas and bullied them, right? I thought they could beat them. Actually, all the money was on the Niners when they was in Dallas last year.
So you don't
So my point is, with the Eagles, nobody feels like that.
like the Giants can be doing.
I think it's gonna be a great game because you got a motivated team on the road with a hell of a coach, a good running game, a quarterback playing efficient football. They're gonna have a shot. Good defense. stout up front. They got a shot. I think they can be. Because I'm
Look, they're predicting a blowout.
Yeah, like first it's the playoffs, first of all. And it's a divisional game. You know this team very well. The strengths and weaknesses. So it's gonna be a good game. But if I say that, the Eagles lose to the Giants, we all will be shocked, right? Like, will they beat them? Or you think it's going to...
I would be surprised.
Okay.
Here's why I'm confused. I don't think it should be a close game if the Eagles are who the Eagles are.
The playoffs.
No.
The margin for error is so small.
I think I agree with where he's going.
I call the equivalent. I believe the Giants are equivalent to the Seahawks.
Absolutely.
The Super Bowl champion Mark Schlereth is here writing some notes down. Broussard, are you expecting an MVP type performance from Jalen Hurts?
Well, look, the way people raved about Daniel Jones' performance last week, kind of viewed it as MVP-like. If that's the case, then yeah, because he played a lot like Jalen Hurts. In fact, the last time, let's throw out the last game of the season when the Giants were resting their starters and Hurts wasn't running the ball, just trying to get his arm loose. When they played before that, Philadelphia won by 26 points. And Hurts had 2 touchdown passes, I believe, and ran for almost 100 yards. One of his best rushing games of the year.
It was his last good game of the season. Because the next game he got hurt against Chicago, and then he missed 2 games and then came back.
Right. So I think that he will come out and they will have their way with the Giants. I'm not saying they're going to beat him by 26, but I think he plays well. I think, look, he's one of the biggest competitors in the league full of competitors. And I think he's been sitting back, seeing how, since he got hurt, since kind of that last great game, people have been kind of downgrading him and the Eagles. And I think he's chomping at the bit to get back. So I do think that he has a great game.
I'm going to go no. I think rhythm is important. I think the way you finish the season, the way you play is important. I think this is one of those games where Wink Martindale, I did games a couple years ago where Wink was the defensive coordinator, not of the Giants at the time, but of the Raisins, okay? And he was playing a prominent quarterback that had that ability. And I'm asking him, what's your game plan? How do you defend this guy? He goes, that guy, at the end of the day, I got to make him throw the ball 40 times. If I can make him throw the ball 40 times, we're going to win this football game. And it's interesting when you think about it that way because the Philadelphia Eagles are structured. They run the ball so exceptionally well. They can run the power game. They can run the pin and pull game, get to the outside edge. They've got that athleticism to beat you up physically, to outflank you athletically, and then their quarterback run comes into that. And off of that, they set up so many easy play actions, so many just one-on-one matchups. So the principle here is I'm going to have a 5-down defensive front. I'm going to stack it with a safety in the middle, and I'm going to make Jalen Hurts beat us throwing the football. And if he can do it, great. So you're coming off a shoulder injury, you're coming off, you haven't played, you don't have that rhythm. I think that's the game plan going forward. And so that said, he's got that good. He's trying to make this cut him up. Absolutely cut him up. But I'm just saying, because of the rhythm and everything else, I think this is a game where he doesn't play that way.
I think it's a real concern, and I also think that we can't possibly overstate what a big moment this is in the season. So I'm hesitant. I don't want to do the pair of black quarterback thing so that I am not comparing to the bar. Not even really stylistically. We're feeling already a better passer. Yeah, in my opinion.
On Lamar, there's no question.
And he is a powerful runner while Lamar is a more elegant speed runner. So here's where I'm going to do the career comps, right? Lamar comes on midway through his rookie year, gets into the playoffs, so poorly in that playoff game, and like, hey, we didn't even expect to be here. The next year, wins league MVP, they're the 1 seed, gets to the playoffs, plays poorly again, and now that's the word. It's like, I can't play well in the playoffs. Jalen, his first year as a starter, they come on at the end of the year, get to the playoffs, don't expect them to be there. They're down 31-0, he looks out of his depth, but no one kills him for it because nobody expected him to be here. Good for him. This year, some people, 14 weeks into the season, had him as league MVP. They're the 1 seed. If he plays poorly in this playoff game, this is a guy that could be up for a contract after this year. He doesn't have that 5th-year option like a first-round pick does.
Sure.
This is a massive spot for him because he was so good in the regular season and so bad in last year's playoffs. And
Here's
so,
the only thing I'd add to that. If he plays poorly and they lose. If he
Oh, of
plays
course.
poorly,
No, because then he gets another opportunity. That, 100% agree.
The New York Times had an article on the quarterback sneak, talking specifically about the Eagles. The Eagles, 29 for 33 on first downs or touchdowns with this quarterback sneak. Do you think a not 100% Jalen Hurts, this should be in the playbook?
Oh yeah, I think 100% it should be in the playbook.
Even though there's an element of you're going to get hurt by maybe your own guys.
Yeah, listen, it's not like the impact on a quarterback sneak is coming from 5 yards of depth. Everything is hammered in there, right? By the way, this whole trend of having all those guys back there and pushing the quarterback through, you know, several years ago when I first came in the league, we used to do that on PAT field goal. So we would push. We have a ramrod guy, and we get behind that guy and try to push him through on PAT.
On defense.
On defensive side, yeah. And so they ended up as a league rule. They ended up basically
So can I ask you a very quick question?
Danger wise, I look at that. I think that's something that's going to be addressed.
So, but until it is, quick question, because you said it's not that, risky of a play. The Chiefs used to run quarterback sneaks. Wiles and I were on this before the show. Then in 2019 against Denver, they ran one. Mahomes got his kneecap dislocated. He has not run a single quarterback sneak since then. 3+ years. They do all types of goofy stuff. They have Travis Kelce do it. They do a bunch of stuff. So you think that's just them being overcautious, or the Eagles being a little reckless with their franchise?
I would say one, that Mahomes is a freak and can do things that nobody else can do outside the pocket. 2, that was a freak injury that happened. Like that is the odds of that ever happening again are slim to none. But they just got to the point where they're protecting their asset. I understand that.
Mahomes quarterback sneak.
No, how about the ring around the road?
Darius Slayton weighed in on Daniel Jones, saying in part, definitely his respect around the league is going up. Broussard, do you think Daniel Jones is underrated or overrated at this point?
I get the teammates. Saquon Barkley said he was back. Unless he's supposed to say. All right, so I get the teammates coming out with these types of comments. But I do think on the outside, there's been people who overreacted to last week's game. And look, Brian Daboll did a fantastic job of this. He kept him from doing what he doesn't do well. And he honed in on what he does do well. He ran for almost as many yards this season as he did in his first 3 years. So credit to Daboll. He's a good quarterback, but people are talking about him like he's a definitive franchise quarterback. It's not definitive. He threw 15 touchdowns this season.
And he threw for 200 yards per game. And listen, this is earlier than I've said this in any show this week for 29 minutes in. But Brew made a good point. Here's the thing. I think deep down, even the folks who are going on TV this week demanding apologies on Daniel Jones' behalf, I think deep down they know that Brian Daboll right now is making the absolute most of the situation. Daniel Jones this year, twice prior to the playoff game where he was exceptional against the league's worst pass defense, threw for more than 230 yards. In both of those games, he turned the ball over. Everyone's like, oh, he doesn't turn the ball over anymore because they don't let him throw the ball a lot. Now, he's done a great job not fumbling the way he used to. But go ahead, Wilds, because you believe in Daniel.
Well, I believe in the facts. So,
15 touchdowns on the facts.
here's Daniel Jones this season with comps of different players. His completion percentage is better than Mahomes. He's thrown fewer interceptions than Jalen Hurts. His passer rating is better than the Prince was promised. And he rushed more.
He's a great run.
Those are pretty good. And he won a playoff game, and if he sneaks this win, it's going to be like, still not very good.
You would give him a 5-year huge deal.
No, you wouldn't.
I give everybody the deal because I don't care.
It's not Wild's money, so he's good with that. Listen, here's the thing. Brian Daboll's done a great job of basically mitigating potential disaster, mitigating the things you can't do. One of the problems in coaching in today's league is you put guys in a position to fail, and then you act astonished when they fail. You're the moron that put him there, right? So he has taken him out of that position, to fail. He's putting in things that he can do. Now, here's to Bruce's point, to your point with Daniel Jones. You know, everybody talked about last week. What a remarkable. He's the first quarterback in history to throw for 300 yards, to have 2 passing TDs, or 2 TDs, and there wasn't for 70. Last year alone, 3 quarterbacks threw for 300 yards, or 300 yards plus. Well, it was Josh Allen twice and Mahomes last year. Threw for 300, had 2 TDs, and you know how many yards rushing they had? Between 65 and 69.
Yeah.
Like, so that's before we got, oh my gosh, it's never, ever happened in the history of football.
That's the way it goes.
He's 1 yard more. So let's calm down. Happened 3 times.
And by the way, one of those, it happened in the same game for Mahomes and Allen. One of them was the divisional round. Okay, fine. We'll lower it down. So now it's Mahomes, Allen, and Daniel Jones. We happy now?
No. I bet you Steve Young has several of them. I bet you go all the way back. You'll find a bunch of them.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.
How great is that?
You probably should walk away still, but no one wants to walk away on the down note. Considering how he played the entire season, considering how he played on Monday night, he doesn't want to leave on that note. And I get it, but it's just hard to walk away still when you've had the career that he's had, and to walk away on that down note. Now, you probably should have left well enough alone, and when he left last year, stayed, because what we were talking about, he had 5,000 yards passing. I think he had 5,000 yards passing, 43 touchdowns, led the league in passing touchdowns. I think he was
Drew, you were worried about the Cowboys bringing their F game. F game. Dak graduated with honors instead. It seems like you were wrong about this one. What do you have to say? Would you like to apologize to anyone? Anyone has a clever rhyme? Was analyzing this game?
Was I wrong, Wiles? Or ingenious? Wiles, what is my franchise on this show?
It's called the Bud List.
And what is the purpose of the Bud List?
It's the most motivating segment in all of sports television.
And who was number 1 on the Bud List last week?
Dak Prescott.
Cowboys Nation, thank you. Or you're welcome, I should say. You're welcome. All right? Because I clearly motivated Dak Prescott after the worst game of his career.
Really, another one of these guys?
Now, look, I get it. It was tough love. It sounded harsh. It sounded mean. But I'm from the old, I'm not like these two up here in this new generation of softies. All right? I bring it rugged and raw, and that's what I did with that. All right? And who got the results? Who got the results? All right?
What is happening?
So Cowboys Nation, you should be thanking a brother, because look, I'm getting people all in my DMs and people in my mentions. Oh, Brew brought his F game to that. That's prediction.
Analysis. That's what this is.
Yeah, simple ones. Simple ones. I am playing chess. All right? I'm playing Ben Wiss. You still at the spades table with the teenagers. All right? It was all by design to bring out the best in Dak Prescott, because that is what the Bud List is about. All right, so that's what this was. It was all. And look, and I said at that last week, I wasn't sure about that. I didn't know how powerful the Bud List was. Even I didn't know. So look, it is all you players out there. We're keeping the Bud List going. It is an honor and a privilege to be on the Bud List. Okay. Count it all joy next time I call you out, because that means redemption is near. Ask Dak Prescott.
You know who I think should be on this week's Bud List? Chris Broussard. No.
You said that before. It's not in the bylaws.
Listen, now to be fair, I also picked the Bucs. But I said before I knew that the Vikings were going to get upset, that the winner of this game, either one, would go to Philly and win that game. Now they have to go to San Francisco. It's a bit of a different story. But you criminally underrated the Cowboys all year. This was a team that in a 15-game stretch went 12-3, with the 3 losses being to Philly without their quarterback, in overtime against
one of the most talented quarterbacks ever, and in overtime against Aaron Rodgers. So the idea that this team,
Washington.
no, I said a 15-game stretch. No, week 1 and week 18. I understand that, but my point is they had a large sample of really good football. Over the course of the year, they were plus 125 in the point differential. I think you can make a strong argument that over the course of the season, there were only 4 teams that were clearly better than them, and one of them they beat. But Kansas City, Buffalo, Cincinnati, and San Francisco. And Philly, over the bulk of the season, was better than Philly got banged up at the end. And so I think there was some underrating of the Cowboys, but Wilds, I think now this morning or afternoon, there's a little overrating of Dak Prescott.
Oh my goodness.
And it's
He was phenomenal.
no, okay, so listen, he played almost a perfect football. He was great. But the barrier to entry of being a great quarterback is playing in this round that's coming up and playing well. And we have seen Baker Mayfield have great wild cards. No,
He's played well. He's lost, sure, but he's played well in this round.
Wait,
Let it out.
we had, Dak,
We had a snare.
I understand that because it was his first time in the playoffs and it's what he did. We have seen we've seen Kirk Cousins win in this round. We've seen Dak previously win in this round. We just saw Daniel Jones and Brock Purdy win in this round. We saw Baker Mayfield. Those are all just guys that are currently in the NFC. We've seen Ryan Tannehill win past this round. So, in my opinion, and I don't think it's unfair, Wilds, but your tweet last night about how everyone needs to, keep the same energy with the Dak.
Say that.
It was a remix. Yeah, okay, sure. I think this was, and I don't think it's unfair, to say yesterday's game, there was a lot at stake for Dak in a negative, but in a positive, there was not that much to gain. That was a game they needed to win because they were the 12-win team. Because, and for all those reasons. And now this morning, this afternoon, there seems to be a lot of, who owes Dak Prescott an apology? If you were saying Dak Prescott's trash, Dak Prescott's a bad quarterback, then yeah, you owe him an apology. But you're doing what most of us were doing, which was he needed to play better. To me, one great playoff game in the wild card round does not all of a sudden change how I view Dak Prescott as a quarterback.
Nothing should have changed because as Dak Prescott has completed a resume this year, it's on the tip of my tongue. One team was scoring and the other was boring. And what he did in the regular season, he did last night. Can you show the graphic? Week 7 through 18. Dak was averaging 32.5 points. Last night, 31. Everyone is shocked like this is some new thing. And they're like, the interceptions. The interceptions never matter. The interceptions were when you go to the Virgin Islands and it rains for 20 minutes. Like, if you look at it, it rains every day here. Yeah, for 20 minutes, you still have a great day. He was 5-2 when he was throwing interceptions. He had a clean game yesterday, played perfectly, had 5 touchdowns. Now, granted, here's a good take here. If Dak Prescott went out and threw, 4 interceptions in the first half, and then had to dig himself out of a hole to survive, maybe then we would be.
I actually think people would be, if Dak Prescott yesterday found himself down 4 scores to Tom Brady and came back, I do think in some ways people would be more impressed by that. Okay,
But everybody's incredibly impressed with what he did last night.
100%. And listen, and Wilds, by the way, it should be noted, his analysis of this game, while, on the surface facile, was exactly correct. It was one team had trouble scoring all year, the other team for the last 2 seasons been one of the highest scoring teams in football. You were right about that. But to me, did this change anyone at this table's opinion of Dak? Is anyone like,
I do agree with you. The next round,
if he goes out and plays half as well and wins against San Francisco and gets to a conference championship game, then 100% that changes your opinion.
Can I just say this? Yeah. He's the number 1 scoring quarterback since he came back. And nobody seems to care.
Because
you talk about Josh Allen, you talk about Mahomes. He should raise his hand like, by the way, I scored.
But that's even when you're defending him. And I know we have to move on. Do you think that is a reflection of him as a player individually?
Elon Musk has got the most money. I'm like, right, you got the most money.
Yeah.
Do I think you're a great businessman? Like, I don't know. You got the most money.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that stat is a little misleading. That's fine.
Make your points.
That's fine. Yeah, I got it. But
Yeah, you know, I have points in winning. Yeah, I'm a king.
I did feel like it was over. When they got up 2 touchdowns, it felt like it was over. Because I knew how hard it was for Tampa Bay to score. I was like, I don't think they can score enough points now.
I told you that all last week.
I know.
Brady, meanwhile, we're going to talk about Brady's future in 5 minutes, but what did you think about his performance last season?
Trash. It was terrible. And, I mean, there's no running from it. We saw 12 quarterbacks play this week, and he was the worst one. He had a worse game than Skyler. Skyler's numbers were a little worse, but Skyler also got ruined by some really tough luck drops. We can show you the numbers, I think. He was 10th, 11th, or 12th. And there's only 12 quarterbacks. In completion percentage, yards per pass, passer rating, he's ahead of only Skyler. And in passer rating, he's ahead of Skyler and Trevor. But because Trevor had the 0 passer rating in the first half, essentially, and then obviously rallied. And listen, this game turned into a laugh. But the Cowboys were not rolling over. Both teams going 3-and-out, 3-and-out, right? Start the game.
Four possessions.
Right. The Cowboys then drive the field, score a touchdown, miss the extra point. The Bucs then drive the field. And it looks like, it's about to be 7-6 Tampa and a lot of pressure on Dak and McCarthy and on the road. And that Brady interception, with Jimmy G.S. Like, you can't even get it out of the back of the end zone. And I was, as right as Wilds was about this game, I was that wrong. Because this is the exact play that I said, Brew, he won't do this in the playoffs. In the playoffs, he's going to stand in the pocket
red zone pick
as a
Tampa Bay.
But forget even where it is on the field. My point is, watch Brady. I said all regular season he's been doing that thing, throw it away and turn. In the playoffs, he's going to stand in, take a hit to the face, or take a hit, and deliver the ball. And he could. And so you can be the greatest ever and still have it be massively on you that your team just got annihilated. And I put, that flipped this game. That stopped this game from being able to be competitive. And I know at the very, very end, he had Mike Evans drop the pass when now 17. Didn't matter. The game was over. A lot of this is home. A lot of it.
I'm going to say something that I usually reserve for the Cowboys. F game. I mean, it was his F game. You look at the numbers, 351 yards, 2 TDs. That was all after the fact. The game was over. We had won the great pass to Julio Jones. That was awesome. But the game was over by then. Okay. He looked every bit of 45 years old.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if he was trying to throw it away out of the end zone on the interception, or he was obviously trying to get rid of it before he got clocked. But if you're right, then the arm just wasn't there. It looked that way all night. He was throwing the ball 2 and 3 yards in front of receivers all night long.
When they could have made it 18-3. When they had 8 seconds left, and they're just trying to get the Cowboys inexplicably give him the quick out, and he and Evans aren't on the same page, and he dirts it. They could have had a 55-yard field goal thereabouts at the gun to make it up. 18-3. The other team can't hit kicks. It was the whole thing. It was go ahead. I'm sorry.
So my question for you is, he threw the ball 66. Even they couldn't run the ball all year. They had 12 runs, and I know they were behind. It's like, regardless. Sure, you can overdo it. Thanksgiving, you can't eat 3 turkeys. Do you think that is, he still has the arm strength, it looks like?
I'm done. No, listen, we'll do it in the next one. But I don't think he's retiring, but I think he's done. But don't put it on the rush. Miami and Cincinnati rushed for 200 yards and 50 because what are they act like I didn't see this. Tom Brady, his little slide tackle would have gotten you a red card in Qatar.
He should have been ejected from the game for that
This is
shit.
a brutal play. And this is, again, he has a 20-plus year history, and so
He should have
one
been
play,
ejected.
of course, does not define you. But I don't like that. And to me, it would be hypocritical if I just ignored it because of who he's been throughout his career, rather than acknowledging that's a dirty play.
And that's a dirty place. You could easily hurt somebody.
100%.
Yeah.
Just felt out. Oh, yeah.
It's a terrible move.
Yeah, it's a good slide.
He is, and he's giving him
Himself up so he
to
didn't get blocked.
be the GOAT. He's about the most unathletic guy to play football. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Oh, we'll have to work on him a little while.
State used to be
very
a
good sports play.
Bill, what do you think of the kicking situation in Dallas?
If they want to keep Brett Maher, and obviously Jerry Jones is one of the things, so I'm going to assume they do that. I gotta be honest, I still bring in like a backup kicker. And I think
have him on the active roster?
yes, it's that.
Absolutely.
And here's the deal.
They did that today.
Maher misses like
One or two.
an extra point
Yeah,
or an
bench him.
easily makeable
You
field
bench
goal.
him.
I am putting the backup in. If you want to keep him, because we don't know mentally where he's at, and if he's
Well,
not
here's what I'm
tough
telling
enough mentally, hold on, if he's not tough enough mentally to handle having a backup there, then he's not going to overcome this
Okay,
anyway.
I think that's a half measure. I think you either gotta stick with him or you gotta cut him. It is
So
noteworthy,
if you stick with him and he misses the first extra point,
then I'm going to the rest of the game and I hope I win.
what if you
Yeah.
got field goals?
By the way, we don't know if this is a field goals problem. This seemed to be the yips. I don't know that it would have hurt him on field goals. Honest to God. What I do know is, prior to the Washington game, Brett
I said
Maher had
get
kicked
straight away.
138 extra points in his career. He had made 133. So prior to the Washington game, he had missed 5 in his career. Playoffs and regular season. He then missed 5 in a row. With the Washington game and then 4 in a row here before he finally made one.
2.3
That
miles.
has to be, that has to be mental. The only part of it, and I would keep it. The backup kicker life is rough, man. The Chiefs lost that stupid Colts game you guys wouldn't stop talking about for 2 months because of a backup kicker. There are not enough quality kickers out there. Kicking extra points? No, the backup kicker likes to do, but the thing is, you bring the backup, he also has to kick your field goals. And Brett Maher is a good field goal kicker, and he's a particularly good long distance field goal
He
kicker.
has never missed anything over
You're gonna
60.
need every single point
Never.
against San Francisco.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
was
fool around. If he's got the yips and I don't find out until we're 10 minutes into the game, I gotta go with a backup. I'm sorry.
Okay, I like it. That's tough. That's right, you know what?
Tough love.
Okay.
Tough love.
Tough love.
I know y'all generation.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.
You're in for a treat. Last night, sealed away in a musty corridor, a select committee of whiz kids, whippersnappers, and whiskey drinkers yearned and toiled. They burned them in that order to compose the best segment in all of sports.
Give me a month.
Like every Wednesday, it's my
We're back in
honor
this.
and it's a privilege. It's time for Nick's Tears.
Indeed it is. One of the last editions of the Tears of
I know I started filming on Friday, on
And
Monday.
as you will see at the top of the
I've been
tier,
going about a week and a
full
half.
notification for the committee. However, we must start with teams that
A
are
month
no
from
longer
today, we'll see where I'm at.
full rebuild. These 11 teams are in a full rebuild mode. 2 of them just won recent Super Bowls. They are now, the cupboard is bare. The 3 above them are in a full rebuild despite allegedly having their franchise quarterback, and they may not even know they're in a full rebuild, but you are. The teams at the very top are in a full rebuild, they're actually excited about it. 3 of the top 4 picks of the draft, tons of cap space, coach openings, all of that. All right, next group, QB Purgatory, and then Frisky. These 6 teams right now are all being held hostage to one degree or another by the quarterback position. In Green Bay, is he in or is he out? In Minnesota, it's like, all right, Kirk Cousins in St. Tennessee, is Ryan Tannehill is too good to get rid of, but we know we can't win. Washington, who knows what they're doing, the Steelers and the Patriots, who are really good franchises with great coaches, but, pardon me, quarterbacks who just are not going to be able to get the job done.
Bad take there.
Yeah, bad take off my throat. Frisky, these 5 teams didn't make the playoffs, but all of them should be super excited for next season, and with the right tweaks, with the
And the
Jets
Dolphins
and
make the
Raiders
playoffs?
situation, with the right quarterback additions,
And the
they
Seahawks?
could be teams that could do real damage next season. Now, to the actual tiers. Should be playing. They were eliminated. These 2 teams were eliminated last week, but they have to feel like they should still be playing. For the Ravens, even without
So much
Gilmore,
see-
did not
why you
get
not
the
mentioning Seattle?
98-yard, 14-point swing or win. Tyler Huntley tried to go full Trevor Lawrence. And for the Chargers, you're up 27-0 against a team many people picked to finish last in their own division. feel like they should be playing. I feel like maybe at least one of them should be playing, but they're not. Next, two great coaches, one great quarterback. Brooke Dable and Peterson have done brilliant jobs thus far this season. Both of their seasons likely end this weekend, but both of these fan bases should feel great about the direction of their team because of their coaches, and in Jacksonville, of course, also because of the quarterback. Overhyped and underhyped. The Buffalo Bills, all year long, have been a historically overhyped team that at every turn since September has not lived up to it. They ended the season with some games like, what happened there? This playoff game, they would have lost to Skylar Thompson if Mike McDaniel, who I like, understood the play clock's only 40 seconds, not 65 seconds, buddy. The Cowboys, on the other hand, I think a little underhyped. The Cowboys, who had a Dak Prescott injury, who dealt with that for 5 weeks, who were in supposedly the best division in all of football, still found their way to 12 wins, still found their way to having different points of the season where they had either a top 3 offense or a top 3 defense, yet no one believes in them. Perfect bracket. I've been saying for quite some time, I thought the Eagles would be running down the first season, but that all changed when the Giants beat the Vikings, and then also the Cowboys beat the Bucs. If the Eagles could not have scripted a better opening weekend on the NFC side, aside from, of course, San Francisco losing, which was never going to happen. The Eagles now get a divisional opponent who, as Brew mentioned earlier, they annihilated earlier this season in their first playoff game, and then in their second playoff game, they will be in Philadelphia either against Brock Purdy or against a team they're very familiar with. They feel great about how the bracket is falling. Next, hot shooter. Not like a hot shooter in basketball. A hot shooter like in craps, where it's all luck, but you got to keep going with it. The Bengals turnover luck at some point will turn. They hope it is not this week against Buffalo. And even if it does turn, Buffalo will probably turn it right back with Josh Allen to them. The Bengals, and if it does turn, luckily for them, they have, in my humble opinion, the best quarterback-wide receiver combo in all of the football with Burrow and Chase, and they have pedigree of being able to go on the road and win tough playoff games. Devastating versatility. You put Christian McCaffrey, Kyle Juszczyk, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, and Deebo Samuel on the field. You can have 2 tight ends if you want. You can have 2 running backs. You can go 5 wide. You can wait and see what personnel the defense puts out there, and you can put, you're going to put your corners out there to guard them as receivers. We're going to run it right down. You're going to put big people out there. We're going to spread you out. And then if none of that works, you have the best defense in all of football. That's devastating versatility. And then finally, the top of the tiers, as they were at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the year, please unveil it. The committee told you so. We warned you. And you scoffed and you said the committee, the chairman emeritus of the committee, is being biased. And then wouldn't you know it? They are the Vegas Super Bowl favorites. They finished with the league's MVP. They finished with the league's best record. They finished with maybe a top 3 candidate for Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year in Travis Kelce, the league's MVP, and the playoffs once again go through Arrowhead. And by the way, they're the healthiest they've been all year. Seems like an overwhelming favorite. So there it is. Chris Broussard is the top 2 as we approach the end of the season.
Shame on you, Nick Wright.
For what?
Shame. Well, they're the Chiefs. Look, and I'm not going to sit here and act like they don't have a great shot. Chiefs, Bills, Bengals are all right there. So we'll see who wins this battle royal between those 3. But the Chiefs, they should not be on the top of the tiers. Here's why. Number 1, they aren't even the hottest team in the league. Okay? They got a little 5-game win streak with 1 playoff opponent. All right, and you talked about all the Bengals it was the Bills, some baffling games at the end of the season. Well, they have the same record as the Chiefs, 14-3, and the Chiefs struggled with Denver and struggled with Houston. So let's not act like they were just running through everybody. All right, Cincinnati's got a 9-game win streak against Buffalo, 8-game win streak, San Francisco, 11-game win streak, and all 3 of those teams have beaten multiple playoff teams in their win streak. Secondly, they are the most balanced team. Their defense gave up 33 touchdown passes this year. That's the most in the league. So obviously Mahomes is fantastic, but the defense a bit leaky. And third, the head-to-head, I get it, it's not standings, but apparently it's not head-to-head either. So Buffalo
Buffalo beat Kansas City. Cincinnati beat Kansas City.
Before I go, where would you
Not Kansas City. That's my point. And you can put San Francisco up there if you
But
want.
I thought head-to-head mattered.
Yeah, so put Buffalo and Cincinnati ahead of Kansas City.
Oh, okay, but I'm
That one got me.
because you said Cincinnati. Go ahead.
My point is this, though. Kansas City should not be number one. And Wild, what did Buffalo do when they went to Kansas City?
I can't, you know
They
what?
slept in their bed.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
They raided the refrigerator and they used their toothbrush.
Yeah.
So this
Hands down.
City fourth on your team,
That's
which is
fine.
why you don't have them. Kansas City, the reason San Francisco doesn't have a 12-game winning streak, has an 11-game winning streak, is because Kansas City went there and beat them by 3 touchdowns.
Okay, that's
and as
good.
far as beating
So
opponents,
head-to-head,
no team in the league this year had more victories over playoff teams than, let me check real quick, oh yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs. They also have the best record and the best player in home field. So it seems like they should be the biggest favorites. Let me check, they are, so they're top the tier. Stink go right out.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go to Philadelphia because I just think I think they are way too low. So what is when you talk about team and you talk about championship caliber team, what do you have to have? Just a great quarterback?
No.
You got to have a great team, right? You got to have a great defense, great offense. Let's look at the great defense. Let's look at the defensive statistics. Let's look at sack numbers because everybody wants to go after how many sacks you get. Who led the league in pressures on the quarterback and sacks this season? Oh, there they are right there. The Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, what's the standard for great offense? What? Hey, can you find yourself 400 yards? I just talked to Tom Brady about it. He goes, can you find 400 yards? Because that's what you have to have. Who had the most 400-yard games in football? Offensive. The Eagles. And yet where are they on the fourth? Fourth on the perfect bracket fourth?
Yeah.
Should they not be higher than fourth? They're clearly the best record, the best. I mean, look, go on and on and on it goes, and they lost a couple of games late. Yeah, because they didn't have their starting quarterback. Yeah, please ask the
Starting defense.
They're going to have.
No, but that's not the convinced her.
No, you're not convinced they're going to have the same start, that level. I mean, Jalen Hurts will be there, but you seem a little anxious that he's not going to be the Jalen Hurts from a month ago.
I'm a little anxious about that. I am a little
I got to tell you why.
This is not, you guys have underperformed. It's playoff time. It's playoff tears.
I thought I had
No, you fell into a bear trap of like head-to-head matters. Put the 49ers, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to edit it out on the fly. I was like, let's go.
My old body's giving out.
On the verge.
Taking a break.
We're on the verge. All right. Gosh, Ernie. I think the Cowboys are being